Good morning. I haven't been on in like a week probably, just because we're at the halfway point in our program and it's kind of intense, and I just did midterms. So today I want to talk about something that has been coming up for me, and I've been hearing it online, and I don't want to give the sensationalism and the credence to it that people want to give to it, and that is an earthquake on the 7th, whether or not we will have one. Now, I had a moment where I had a kind of something come out of my mouth about it, and I was really shocked. I didn't expect to say that. It was like something that I was kind of, I think, semi-channeling and not channeling, but I'd had a conversation with Maha, my co-reader, and we studied together, and we work really hard. And one of the things that we talked about in this was that a lot of times the language is not direct. So in other words, you get a download from spirit, and then maybe it's exactly what you saw, but maybe it is not. And for example, when I was going through my big emotional upset here most recently on November 11th, of all things, 11/11, I felt like there was going to be a plane crash. And there was no plane crash, but there was a plane crash in my marriage. He got on a plane, he left, he landed, and he's not coming back. And that's okay. That's an agreed upon story right now. I don't want to sound like he's being cruel to me because he's not coming back. It's more like I'm feeling like I need to take care of me now. And my late stage cancer suggests that having a lack of support would not be in my best interest. So in other words, there was a plane crash in a way, but not in the dramatic way that we think of it. Well, what is this earthquake thing? What is that? Well, it could simply be that the earth would shake up and make a big old change, or it could be something different. It's hard to say, but we're going to look at the fairies of Oracle. I'm not home today. I'm actually staying at a resort because I have company here on the Big Island, and they want to hang out with me, and they're staying at a resort, which is really kind of fun. We've got a couple of different people that I know here visiting. In fact, several people I know here right now visiting, which is really funny. It's really unusual, but it's whale watching season, and so there's just a ton of whales. I watched yesterday, took a big old walk, and oh, what a beautiful walk it was, but I ended up playing in a mud puddle. Can you imagine? Anyway, so we're going to look at the Fairies Oracle, and we're just simply going to ask about this question, because what I suspect, and what Maha and I talked about last night, is that we're learning right now in some really direct ways to interpret downloads from spirit. So oftentimes when people come at me or say they're predicting something, I have to also in the back of my mind keep it clear that, yeah, maybe you have that information right, maybe you don't, and I just sort of take it all with a grain of salt, especially when it comes to sensationalism, because I just sort of feel like we're all kind of upset enough, and we're all kind of going through enough. We don't really need people sensationalizing. So no cruelty to anybody, no, I'm not putting anybody down, but I'm asking maybe that you spend some time thinking about, when you make predictions, do they come true? And if they're not coming true, then why? And what might be the message? Maybe the message isn't that you're not getting it right. Maybe the message is you need to learn to interpret what Spirit's saying, because it is like learning a language. And that is what I am doing at this time. I'm learning a language, and I'm fully capable of admitting that I get a lot of things wrong. When I think I know something, it's not right. So I just want to talk about this because I think it's so easy to get kind of, and I hear it all the time in the tarot astrology world, ego, where people are talking, I got it right, whatever, however they do it, and it's not appropriate. We shouldn't be bragging. So here we go. We have the how this is coming out. This is the Tris of the Rainbows. So more like a dancing of different light frequencies. So this totally makes sense to me. So let me just take a good look at it. Yes, and you have those down here you can see in their vulnerability that are willing to admit, yeah, I don't know everything. And these aren't the readers you're seeing right now. It's these ones up here. And so I would suspect right now, if you pay attention to the more quiet readers, the ones who are not saying a lot, you probably get a lot better information. Now, I don't like to do predictive. I could do horary, I could do all kinds of things, but because I have several different skills. But the truth is, no matter what, like for instance, right now, we could say that our energy and our times are a lot like the Bolshevik Revolution, and in fact they are. And when we look at the overall placements of the planets, there's some similarity to something over 1700 years ago. So do cycles repeat? Well, of course they do. But even there, I would be very reluctant to say, oh, we're going to go into civil war or revolution. I would be reluctant because I don't know that. That's only a possibility, not a fact. So, we have to be careful when we're learning the language of light and love. The rainbow language, it's functioning in some colors we're not used to. And our next card. The center of the chalice. Yes. That you have to be very careful. I know that myself, Maha, and I talked about it last night. And she happens to have just a ton. I'm going to grab my coffee. She's Sun Sag, and she has in fact, I didn't know this, and she told me this yesterday, which was, she has been in astrology school for 10 years. And she told me yesterday that Pluto conjunct Mercury in Arabic parts is considered the most psychic, and she has it in the 6th house, which makes her quite astute. It makes her quite aware of what's true and what's not, which I just love that about her. I love her purity of truth. But where we're at is we have, again, a lot of people out there saying things online that are rather terrifying in some ways. I've had to quit watching most astrologers. I've had to quit watching tarot card readers because they're constantly coming up with shenanigans and saying, well, there's going to be this and there's going to be that. You can say there's going to be war, and there will be war somewhere. And you can say there's going to be an earthquake, and guess what? There'll be an earthquake somewhere. That doesn't mean that they're able to predict it. We are all seeing the same things, and we are all able, in this sense, to divine what it is we are seeing. We're not without skills, but this is the cold speaker of truth, that we are going into an area when we get predictive and think we know the light language where it's not right, and don't do it. Don't say it. Just wait, learn the language. It's like any language. If you've ever taken a foreign language, it's not easy. It takes time. You have to adapt yourself to that language. You have to adapt yourself to thinking about that language. I've been to Italy. I've been to Spain. I've been to Germany. My roots are French. I've had a lot of foreign-speaking friends. And all throughout my days, I know that it takes time to learn a language. So, and our last card about this spiritual language, and what is it that they're trying to tell us when we get these different messages? The fun. They want us, number 35, to realize that we're just babies here on planet Earth. Maybe not in the bigger sense, but they're constantly delivering light to us. And we do have a little bit of a learning curve to get on board with, to be good readers. And I don't really think there's ever a point in somebody telling you what the future is. The future creates anxiety in us. So with that, please do hit like, share, and subscribe, and join us. We're going to be starting to podcast here very soon on Star Medical Astrology. We kind of got to get a few more little things taken care of, but between the two of us, we're getting things sorted out. And so please do hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'm working on a list that has all of our services listed that you can just go and pick off a menu and choose what works for you. And I thank you so much for joining me here today.